Okay, this is DragonofEternity and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ, or main story quest, or main scenario quest, whichever one you prefer. In the last video, I made my way further into Labrynthos, and Alpha Node call a bunch of favours around the world. So, in this video, we've got a bunch of bunnies to help while they're off doing their own things. Wise Guides. Wise Guide. Tries he might, Urianger cannot free himself of the loporrits. Same. A tour of Labrynthos. Unexpected, yet prudent suggestion. Given the similarities betwixt this artificial environment and the best way burrows, it would be in our best interest to have the loporrits acquaint themselves with those conditions deemed optimal by their Charlayan collaborators. I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing, rather than broadening, their perspectives. Mayhap thou art better suited to this venture. What a marvellous idea! Shall we begin with that great big what's-it over there? Over yonder? Ah yes, the what's-it. I shall leave its explanation to Mariashna. Really? A what's-it? And changing that over. Let's see, the what's-it. The what's-it! What is a what's-it? Except for a crisp. Go to Singing Way. Cooking Way. This is all very intriguing, I'm sure, but where are the food preparation stations? What was your word for it? Kitchens? That reminds me, Pudding Way, our newly appointed chef for pudding research, a discipline he himself founded after sampling Urianger's delights, has gone in search of etheirys' ultimate sweet treat. Well, provided it's a pudding. As that's all he ever talked about these days. Have you seen him? No. My word, what magnificent architecture. Such immaculate curvature. I'll have to make several adjustments to my work if I'm to match this degree of craftsmanship. I shall leave no corner unrounded. Living Way. Considering Singing Way and Growing Way specialties, I expect him to pay full attention to your explanations, for which I am sure will be most informative. The loporrits' technical expertise doth far outstrip our own. We would be wise to allow them to form their own conclusions as to the function of the various apparatus, rather than offer uninformed suppositions of our will. Alright. Unless that is, unbeknownst to me, thou art possessed of surpassing knowledge concerning the construction and operation of advanced Charlayan what's-its. Isn't this the weather manipulation place? Or am I thinking of a different place? Of that. Oh god. Goodness me, to build something so large for our creation magics, it is positively stupendous. Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important features. What? I don't know what this is. Search the apparatus for points of potential interest. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target an area and inspect it with left mouse click. Okie dokie. Observe the mushroom-like thing. Observe the tanks. The mushroom-like thing. Oh. Oh. That looks like the trees in the greatest Endsvale. Hold on, that's a bit of a strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. That makes sense. That's where they store the That's where they store the water. Okay. Observe the tanks. It's a little hard to see from here, but that's... Is that a golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks? And I can see through that window and another pipe at the bottom. Ah, this must be for purifying water drawn up from below. Alright. And... metallic tube. It's a series of tubes. Is that water I hear inside that great big tube? It must be because of those cogs in that gigantic wheel at the top. Oh, I see now. That's how they draw up the water. There's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside it too. Yes, inside the series of tubes. Oh, finally that music stopped. It was getting on my nerves, if I'm honest. God, I'm slurring my words right now. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn from underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it. A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install in even the harshest of environments. For us loporrits, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. We have read, however, that peoples of etheirys sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive? Areas near waterfalls are common sites for villages in Kiribania. Many settlements in Fanalan are built near an oasis. I mean, technically both of these are right. So, wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. We can provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear they rely on it far more than we'd anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. I take like 4 liters a day, maybe? It may also be worth learning more about exactly how It may be worth learning more about how exactly they obtain their water in the first place. Master Alphinaud spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logisticon Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the loporrits will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel. Oh yes, that sounds absolutely splendid. We must journey beyond the sanctuary of Charlane Hamlet. I shall lead the way. You mean we have to brave the untamed wilderness? A valid concern indeed. We could not help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big, nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of the settlement. Were we not escorted there by burly custodians, I dread to think what would have become of us. Regrettably, to many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big, nasty teeth, loporrits may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. Don't scare them. Might I impose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage to Logisticon Alpha? For my part, I shall act as escort to Living Way and Cooking Way. I entrust Singing Way and Growing Way to thy care. Okay. A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be eaten by some hard beastie. Come along, Growing Way, to the water extraction, what's it? Okay. So I'm not escorting them? They're just going to be there. Oh, I need to survey a location. Okie dokie, okie dokie. I feel like I'm so close to the end of the story. I have to be. Right, sup, grow and sing. I have a feeling the way forward is not as clear as we'd like. Could you go and take a look? Perhaps you could tell the local beasties were not nearly as delicious as we might appear. Alright. Just waiting for them to appear, and I will tell them that you do not taste delicious. Well, he isn't listening. Uh-oh. You know, I can do my own ring of fire. Alright, let's get Spyro out. A little bit extra DPS out in the field. Boom. Right, are you two good now? Thank you so much. I really hope this water extraction is worth these harrowing experiences. All part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp, if it's all the same to you. Okie dokie. Speak with Uyonjay. Let's see. Party check. I couldn't help noticing a distinct lack of carrots on the way, or many of the other vegetables I was expecting to see, though I did catch a glimpse of some sort of bipedal tomato charging about. Must be my imagination. Oh no, they're real. You've done well to see these two here safely. They can be a bit skittish at the best of times, so I'm pleasantly surprised they didn't run off and get themselves killed. Wow. That was all very exciting, but I'd rather not do it again. Wait, how exactly were we planning to head back later? Yeah, about that. Let's get moving. That building looks nice and solid and safe. Alright, Uyonjay. My friends, I bid you welcome to Logisticon Alpha. Our destination doth lie at the lit's top. Pray follow me. Alright. Oh, I couldn't get a etheirys here. Oh well. Take me to the medial circuit. Let's see. That was terrifying! But at least the scenery was more pleasant than was named Garlemald. As a first impression of etheirys, it was far from favourable. Anyway, onward and upwards. Quite literally, as is the case here. As I understand, places like Labrynthos are the exception rather than the rule. You don't all build enormous underground living spaces like this, surely? No. Forgive me for asking, but are we any closer to the kitchens? Come to think of it, why am I even here? Atmospheric manipulators are hardly my area of expertise. Oh. You should have been at the last stand up top. On this occasion, it would behove us to seek the counsel of those qualified to describe the workings of the apparatus. They may also be in possession of schematics or other useful documentation, should the loporrits request them. As the forum's esteemed guests, it is unlikely that they would be refused. Yet thou knowest as well as I the changeable dispositions of Charlayan bureaucrats. Alright. Marvelous, simply marvelous, so this is where the magic or science rather takes place. The perfect environment to sustain life artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. What? You're all lucky lot of etheirys just so happens to provide everything you need to survive, or need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out the way they were because of the available resources, I wonder? Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it. Excuse me? Most of the planets on your list don't have breathable air. What? Agriculture shock. Cooking Way is eager for a change of venue, or at the very least, a change of what's it. This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where is the food? I believe both the knowledge and consumables you seek may be found at Merial Ergonomics. As I imagine Singing Way and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus, wouldst thou be so kind as to escort our visiting culinarian? Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Urion J was telling me about. Even his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose, descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention etheirys will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there is still time. Let us brook no further delay. Speak with Cooking Way and have him accompany. It would appear I have inadvertently taken upon myself the more demanding duty, entertaining 3 inquisitive loporrits to thy 1. Yet, be that as it may, 'twill be my pleasure to impart what little knowledge I possess to our would-be saviours. You say the same thing. You say the same thing. I should like to study this primitive, yet nevertheless intriguing contraption a while longer, if I may. That the Charlanes were able to build something of this complexity with their limited knowledge and resources is most impressive. Okay, we get it. You're more advanced in terms of technology. Sheesh. So, just out here then. So how long do I have to listen to this music for? Because I honestly kind of missed the froggy music. Alright, let's see. Cooking Way. This is the place, yes? The heady aroma was enough to guide me here, and I've spotted several of the fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. I'd dearly love to try some, but I've read those who help themselves to a farmer's crops without permission are often caught and put into pies. Perhaps you could ask whoever's in charge if they'd be willing to part with a few samples. Cooking Way is now accompanying you. Alright. Let's see, ask a farmer. Is this the place with the low polygon grapes? Let me do a quick check over here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Come on, not everything has to be high-tech to people. Right, Jebke. What a fine mess this is. Oh, it's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the exodus. And I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we can. I'm not reading this correctly. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here up there. First on the moon, then on whichever star the Forum decides will become our new home. It's all so sudden, so unreal. Don't you want to go to the moon? Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. But no matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. Sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it? Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We merely wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may. By all means, help yourself. Much appreciated, my good fellow. So, where to begin? Was that a fucking rabbit I was talking to? Right, to the wine. Let's teach this rabbit how to make wine. Oh, I know what these are. Grapes, yes? Let's see if they are as delicious as they look. So sweet, so sour, the taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot. And yet the texture is completely different. The contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another. Well, that's certainly given me food for thought, though in a far less visceral manner than any philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes? Meh, ghastly things. I'd brave an erupting volcano for a choice bunch. Is this a nod to a Zem in that short story? I think it is. Yes, they are rather Moorish, aren't they? And from what I've read, quite versatile too. Something about people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, as I recall. Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to the next treat. And this treat is an orange. Sparrow, get out the way, please. Orange by name, orange by nature. What came first, the fruit or the colour? I assume the fruit, or... yeah, it would have been the fruit and then humans named it. Who cares, let's eat. Yes, that's... equal parts sweet and sour, as with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Oyonji about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter. This is all very complicated, you know. So many flavours, so many choices, and each individual with their own personal preferences. Now I see why you all turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvellous though they still are in my estimation. Let no one say I said otherwise. But speaking of carrots, I've yet to sample any of the vegetables. Let's see what's in that field over there. You know, for such a mundane task, the music is still epic. And then you got the piano. There we go. That colour, that texture, are they some sort of enormous round carrots? No, they're pumpkins. No? In any case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than the taste. Yes, you eat an entire freaking pumpkin. Or a squash. Black. It's so hard and flavourless. I may as well be chewing a piece of wood. Alba confirms it. These are nothing more than begotten failures masquerading as goodly carrots. Stop, stop, stop. Can't you see these are pumpkins? And no one would, with any sense, would try eating them all. You're supposed to cook them first. Do you not find it an awful bother? Far from it, cooking is a joy unto itself, and what's more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of my favourite dishes for as long as I can remember. Then perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the orange I sampled. I wonder though, if anything is even more... I can word. I wonder though, if there is anything even more delicious, how about that yellow fruit over yonder? Yellow fruit? A lemon? Oh no. Good luck, buddy. Good luck. What a wondrous fragrance. With luck, it'll have a flavour to match. As I have no idea how these are eaten, I'll just bite into it. Well, not with the skin on it. My tongue! Is this poison? A lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? How could something so similar to an orange be so revolting? It may be some time before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I had best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others. Okay. Well, that was an experience. Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking. I'm rather enamoured with the grapes and oranges, less so the pumpkin, for I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. Then there was the lemon, the deceiver. I still feel so violated. Haha, first time was it? I'd hate for you to leave a bad taste in your mouth in more ways than one, so I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. More lemon? Have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spend this opportunity to... Oof. Bit of sick came up there. Learn more of your inscrutable ways. Very well, lemon muffin, do your worst. This is delicious! Should you be giving a bunny sugar? Although I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have guessed its vile bitterness could be utilised so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking. See, we rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes, and the same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal, and sometimes that can even be the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the forum agonized over what was worth preserving. Is it about the rain? And what will be consigned to history. Hard choices. But make them we must if we're to survive. It's just strength of will. Now I know what Heidelin sees in your kind. Mankind, the loporrits, were both born of the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fates of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and a form of... Oh my god. Can I just redo this from the start? I must be tired if I'm messing up this hard. Once a civilization has achieved... Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therein lies its folly, and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal. 'Tis the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Yet civilizations, since time immemorial, have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. I was going to say make lemonade, but okay. Pardon my Eosian, but what in the seven hells are you on about, and who are you anyway? Cooking way at your service. I'm here to help prepare for the trip to the moon. And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. But don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of etheirys' species as possible, if you're up to the challenge. Yes, of course, I look forward to it. Well, this has all been highly productive, probably. Let's go and see if Urianger and etheirys have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we? Why did I mince my words so much? Oh, to be fair, I have been recording for about 11 hours? 10, 11 hours? Yeah, about 10 or 9 hours given some breaks I've had. Honestly, I don't think I'll be beating the game by Sunday. Shame, because I would love to do some of the bloody endgame stuff. I mean, as of this recording, the Pandemonium raid should be out in about 9 days? Yeah, 9-10 days. Although, this will be uploaded in February, March. Going away. Oh, there you are. Ugh. Have the others finished talking about rainmaking Watsits yet? Where have you and Cooking been? If the two of you were engaged in pursuits of an educational nature, you should have taken me too. I am the leader, after all. Not to rub it in, but we had the most fantastic time while you were away. J was able to obtain all manner of meteorological data for us to pore over. I'll be sure to put my newfound knowledge to good use once we return to the moon. It's my duty to make your journey as comfortable as possible, though there's no telling how long it will be. 100 years? 1,000? Probably closer to 5,000, give or take. We don't have that lifespan. By Cookingway's broad grin, I assume your excursion was a roaring success. Yeah, you could say so. That was most enlightening, especially the part of the lemon muffin. Actually, I was wondering, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine? The Far East has oodles of noodles. Lemso says home to the Culinary Guild and many less than savoury establishments. Yeah, let's go with the Culinary Guild. Would lad I had time to visit. The more I learn of etheirys, the more I wish we could spare it from the final days. Alas, Hadlin's orders are to flee, not to resist. If only there was some other way. Yeah, about that.